A History of Creation, Part 3. October 13, 2013. As you know, the actions of the atoms are not random, as they have all been pre-programmed to display different characteristics from the outset, and as such, they all behave in their own distinctive manner. Pre-programmed from the outset, so that they can enact the roles they have been given. For this is indeed the true secret behind the seeming appearance of mass. For mass is nothing but a shimmering haze of particles coalescing in such a way, they seem to conform into a solid object. But they are not, neither are you, as you are also composed of different units of these ever-busy little carriers of light and energy, all working together in unison to form a thing called Asia, or Peter or what have you. They are also busy at work forming objects such as stone or chair or tree, and everything you can care to label, and then some. And so it is with everything, as nothing is by chance, and everything has been programmed to act in a certain way. Yes, it is indeed the God in the machine we are talking about here, the force behind the so-called natural forces, the force behind the so-called laws of physics, and everything else also. For it all comes back to one single thing, the one single operator if you will, the governing force behind it all, namely that distinctive voice of the Creator. And, as you know, you too are a part of this voice, just like you are a product of it, so again you have the duality that this whole creation rests upon. So let us just continue a little bit about the other sides of this creation. As we were saying, it is all governed by one single voice, a voice that is taking on an infinite number of voices, as it can be broken down into every single component, or rather fraction, of what it has created. This may sound like the recipe for chaos, but it is indeed the one and only recipe for creation. For everything needs to be able to communicate with everything else, and as such, this is indeed a heavenly choir of voices, all calling to each other, divulging their secrets. Because there are no secrets in creation, for every single particle, every single fraction of it, is privy to what everyone else is doing. So too, are you. Or rather, the single minuscule particles that together form what you refer to as you, or rather, your physical vehicle. For this physical vehicle, this actual, tangible part of you that has been constructed by these pieces of that sea of possibility, all of those single entities are behaving both as singular specimens, but also as one coherent object. So you are in fact walking inside a cloud of single-minded entities, coalescing to form a single-minded being, and as such, you can perhaps give a thought to the fact that you do not disintegrate into those single units at any given time. Well, let us just say that you do that at regular intervals, but that will be for another occasion, and we will indeed return to this subject once again. Back to the main story, for we were indeed discussing the duality here, the fractions that creates the friction, the building blocks versus the creator, the voice that makes the bidding, and the matter that is the end result. For you are indeed both, as you are walking within this matter, this body, this vehicle of flesh, while at the same time you are the voice, the bidder, the one that has made it all come about. So you see, you are the walking, talking, living proof of creation, and you are here to show this to the rest of this world's inhabitants. As we were saying, you are indeed the living, breathing example of this duality, the duality that is needed to create the necessary friction in order to create. For creation is what happens when two different sides collide, and in this case, it is energy and consciousness. And just like the mollusk needs the humble grain of sand to create the pearl, the ghost of consciousness needs to rub against the slightly less intangible form of energy in order to create mass. And so you are both, you are that voice, the whisper, that insistent voice speaking out to become from the sea of possibility, but you are also that being created from this sea of possibility, by millions upon millions of obedient particles coming together to form themselves, but also to form a whole wherein you can reside. So you are a vital and living part of this magic in every way, but you are also the magic, and you are the one that makes this magic happen. And now, it has come to be that you will be asked to share this secret with the rest of the creator gods that walk unwittingly around on this planet alongside you. For as we said earlier, you have been let in on the secret already, but so many others have not, but soon they will, and then this will all take a whole new turn as they all start from scratch all over again by recreating themselves as you have done. And through that, greatly abetting the recreation of this whole planet. For as we said, this is a grand cycle of creation and destruction, of putting together and pulling apart again, and now, the time for a complete dismantling of all of the old and outdated models is rapidly approaching. It may sound dramatic, and of course it is too, but it is all a part of the ongoing upgrading that everything, and we do mean everything under the sun and beyond, is constantly reenacting. For this is all about evolving, growing, and developing by way of learning, and as soon as this year's model turns out to be obsolete, it will indeed be replaced by a new one with more potential. And no, we do not mean that as in a mass destruction or a complete wipe out of a whole mass of humanity. We simply refer to those particles of yours, the billions upon billions that have served you all so well, but who now are being replaced at an increasingly rapid rate. For you are indeed becoming new by being completely remodeled from the inside out, particle by particle, atom by atom, single cell by single cell. For they are not replaced by mere copies of themselves, no, they are being replaced by far more advanced copies of themselves, and as such, you are becoming something very new, something hitherto not created, and so, you are turning into a brand new species before our, and your, very eyes, and we do envy you all the chance to be the center of all of this. For you are the ones becoming the new, the untouched, the untried, the virgin territory if you will of uncounted possibilities. And you are all set to thrive in every way in this brand new energetic environment that has been put into place in order to make your living condition as these brand new beings optimal. For you are merely the first ones of a veritable army of a brand new species, Humanity Volume 2.0 if you will, the ones that have been accumulated anew in order to make this whole environment become new. For you are here to play out the games of peace, the ones that will give new light to the word learning to live from love. For this is not what you have been made accustomed to in your old form. For then, it was all about learning by living under a superimposed yoke of fear, a yoke that now has been dismantled to the point that it has lost its powers over you. And so, we invite you all to sit down and get reconnected with the brand new you, for trust us when we say, there is not one single part of you that has not been dismantled and resurrected in such a way, you will need some time to really and truly feel completely at home again. For remember, it is you, the voice of consciousness, the creator that has whispered him or herself into being by asking the sea of possibilities to set you up with this formidable vehicle. And it is you also who has asked for this new chance to re-educate yourself by being outfitted with this brand new vehicle in which to do so. So in that way, you are the creator of yourself, but you are also a house guest, and as such, we ask you to treat yourself with the utmost of respect, for you certainly deserve it, every single little fraction of you. The Constant Companions. Channeled by Asia North. asianorth.wordpress.com